Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are Married to the Games, episode 371. It is me, Chris McCracken, and I am with Tim Router and Ed Placencia.
That was beautiful.
Something sounds different.
Yeah,
this
is
excited.
Not the norm here at all. Okay,
you nailed it, dude. You nailed it.
Well, you know,
Totally
there's
nailed
some big
it.
shoes to fill. So
Yes.
as you can tell, I am not Gabe Patillo. We are Gabe Patilloless this evening.
We are.
Yes.
Mr. Gabe had some work-related stuff that came up, and just it was not going to work out this week, and we had to get this scheduled and going. So, unfortunately, we are without our captain of our ship, but we are going to make this happen.
We
And
are.
this ship is heading for the rocks, baby. It's heading for the rocks.
We just got to keep spinning the wheel, you know, just keep
No, we're
spinning.
good.
Maybe we'll turn away.
We will hold it down.
Yes.
So, we are going to get this rolling with the typical weekend update. And since I'm used to being one of the people going first, but I'm not going to do that, I'm going to say, let's go with eeny, meeny, miny, Ed.
Hey, Chris McCracken.
Hey. All right.
Kudos again on stepping up, Chris. I know a couple weeks ago you made light over the fact that one of these weeks I want to try that, and you got your chance. You killed
Guess
it.
what, brother? Yep, this is your week, and you nailed it.
I'm
well
just a
done,
ball
sir.
of sweat right now. I should have been wearing this hoodie.
We have
Have
our
some
official
coffee.
substitute here. I love it.
Jeez.
That was perfect. Yeah.
Well, it's been a good week. As far as work goes, it's kind of been business as usual. Unfortunately, an uncle of mine passed away this week. It was
man.
my mom's little brother. I only met him maybe 2 or 3 times in my life, so we
wow.
weren't close by any means. But I felt bad for Mom, of course.
Oh, sure.
Mom is in town. She got in last night. We got together tonight for dinner with her and my brother and his family. And so it's nice to see her again. She was holding up pretty well. And she and her sister, my aunt, are kind of taking care of business while Mom's in town. So it's kind of a bad news that brings her into town, but good news to see her again. I know some time back I mentioned Mom was kind of battling breast cancer
Yes.
and went through a double mastectomy. And tonight, as we were leaving the restaurant, she said, in December, I'm done with all of my treatments.
Yes.
And so it was just really
Yes.
cool to be like, wow, Mom, we are officially on this side of it now,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
it seems like it was just, a month ago that we were kind of hit with the news of this horrible thing, and it's cool to be on this side of it. So that was a really nice silver lining in the whole reason that brought Mom back to the area. So that was really, really cool.
Nice.
That's great, man.
Yeah,
Great news,
yeah, it's been awesome. Game-wise, Sarah and I, of course, still playing Borderlands 3. We hopped into a little bit of Gears 4 and started that campaign to kind of ramp up into Gears 5. Of course, last Friday jumped into the Jackbox Party Pack 6.
I
There
was
you go.
so happy. Oh, I was so happy.
Man,
Oh, it was so great.
has got to be the best pack they've made.
Really?
It's
Nice.
gotta
It's
be. And
really good.
there are a couple of games that going into it, I was like, I don't know. This might be one of those games that's better in person. It's
Yeah.
still translated pretty well. Then we got some of the people into a PS voice chat, and it worked even better. But this game is, if you like Secret Hitler, if you like Mafia, for an in-person game, this is gonna be killer. If you want people over to your house and just yelling at each other, it's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to play it with the Tapmans.
Nice.
It's gonna be a great time. It's
That's
a
so
great,
cool.
great pack. So well done, Jackbox. We had a blast. I think I streamed for 6 hours on Friday. We were having so much fun. We didn't want to stop. It was a blast. Of course, been playing the Overwatch Halloween event. Got my Junkenstein's Revenge in this week because Sarah was doing some stuff around the house. And so while we were waiting for her to play Borderlands or Gears 5, I hopped into some Junkenstein's Revenge because I don't have to have my headphones on and chat with anyone. I can just play by myself with randos and get guaranteed 9 wins.
Yeah.
So that
Exactly.
was nice to do. Played a new game called Felix the Reaper. It's kind of a puzzle game. It's got a really, really cool art style. I played for about 5 hours, and I will not be playing it again.
Oh, wow. There you go. Well done.
I spent 1 hour on one puzzle, and it just...
Ooh.
I said in the stream, I can't imagine how hard it is to make a puzzle game because there's a fine line between challenging and just frustrating. And I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out what to do.
It's about 30 seconds by the time I hit the frustration.
Yeah, right?
Like,
You're
all
like,
right,
okay, we're done.
YouTube.
Exactly.
I'm done with this.
So I was bummed just because the art style looks really cool. I really like that. If you like puzzle games, I highly recommend it because it'll keep you busy for a while. But if you're like me and you're just not that smart, then maybe try something else. Picked up a new game called Lonely Mountains Downhill, and it's kind of a very blocky, not Minecraft, but just kind of like there are no like rounded edges in the game, if that makes sense. Yeah. And you're basically on a bike riding downhill. You have to maneuver your way down. At first, I thought it was going to be kind of like Trials, but it's completely different. And that game was a blast. I had so much fun playing this game. Usually if a game has you beat the course in this much time, now see if you can beat it in this much, I don't even bother playing it again. And this was so different. I was playing over and over and over again, trying to beat my times. And
nice.
And I've played it since I streamed it. I'm still playing it off stream. It's such a fun game. Really cool little indie game. I was pleasantly surprised by that, especially after a day of Felix the Reaper.
Nice, man.
Then, of course, Borderlands 3. I finished the main story on stream today. Super happy to announce that tomorrow, Thursday, the Echo Cast kicks in for the console. And so we can finally have people in the chat affecting my game, seeing how they give me how people in the chat give me a raw deal and screw my game up and make it as hard as possible for me. I can't wait. So that's going to be coming up this week. And yeah,
it's a great idea, man.
Yeah,
that's so awesome.
I can't wait to see it implemented. So yeah, it's gonna be. I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm already excited to get into more Borderlands 3. It's been a good week.
Is that for the Twitch stream only?
I don't know if it works for Mixer or not.
Yeah, I got a notification about it when I was streaming. When I was on your stream, and I'm like, oh, okay, this will be fun.
Right.
So we'll have to see how it goes. But
I can't wait.
What a great idea, Gearbox, man.
Yeah,
hitting it out of the park. It's awesome.
They really, really are.
Who is do you know off the top of your head the developer of the Lonely Mountain game?
Oh, off the top of my head, I do not. It's I
was just curious if it's like one of their first games, or is this a...
They had done other games before. Thunderful Publishing is the name. I'd not heard of the games, but people in the chat had heard of them and had enjoyed their previous games. But yeah, Thunderful Publishing.
The art style looks like a slightly blockier inside.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like a bright, colorful inside. Yeah. That's
not
a good
depressing
comparison.
inside.
I'm assuming nowhere near as weird.
No, not at all.
Nowhere near.
And I say that
weird.
as someone who really enjoyed Inside. That's not a knock.
You don't have people hiding in the bushes shooting you with tasers or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's always good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
So,
that's awesome, man.
Mr. Tim, what do you got for us, sir?
Man, I got Piper's first cheer competition that happened this weekend.
Wow.
And they got second place.
Hey.
Now,
there you
granted,
go.
there were only 2 teams, but they got second place.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my gosh, that's amazing.
Default.
Listen, well, okay, there were a ton of different teams. For her age group, they were really only competing with one other. And I have to say, look, this is... A lot of these girls, this was their first competition, their first year of really cheer competition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There were about 3 or 4 injuries prior to this with some sprained ankles and one had a broken arm and all kinds of stuff. But they did great. Piper is a flyer, so she's the one that gets hoisted up, and she had great balance. And so they did really well. It was a lot of fun just to see her. She had this big old smile on her face. It is a lot of fun to see how passionate she is about this. And so first cheer competition in the books. We got another one in 2 weeks. And yeah, man, it's going along. So I was super, super proud of her.
Nice.
Good job.
We also have this weekend is our last soccer game of the season. Of course, it's supposed to rain, so maybe we won't have it, but we'll see. But yeah, we had our last practice on Tuesday, and that was fun. We just did some scrimmaging, and we were kind of messing around. But as not very good as we are as a team, I know the coach and we still just love these kids, and because we've been with them for 5 seasons now, so we also really love the parents too, and everybody. Whenever everyone's at practice, I hear a lot of laughing on the sidelines from the parents, and then the kids are having a good time.
I'll bet you do.
And really, right? Win or lose, it doesn't matter. Like, we're not here to win any World Cup. They want to play soccer. Let's teach them some soccer, and if they get it, great, and if they don't get it, fine. But because to be honest, you're not supposed to keep score, but I don't think we've won a single game, at least on my side, on my coaching side. But that's fine. That is the way it is. What I'm happy about is they're learning passing. They're learning how to space out in the field so that they can get open and then get passing.
But not space out in the field.
Not
like
space
they're over
out.
there like
Right,
looking
right.
at flies.
Not doing grass angels or anything like
Okay,
That was the first season.
Yeah. Right. We're past the plucking of the dandelions and the grass angels. We've kind of moved beyond. Now we're getting a little bit more serious. But it's been fun. I enjoy it, and so we'll have our last game this weekend. This weekend in downtown Franklin is also Pumpkin Fest, so that's the big kind of Halloween celebration. Kids can dress up and they come trick or treating in all the stores. So Lauren will have a tent set up. Again, it's supposed to rain, so we may not do much outdoors. We'll probably bring it all in, but we'll see. But it always gets me really excited for Halloween, which I can't believe is next week. And so it's just going to be a lot of fun. On the gaming front, like my brother Ed, I am still going through Borderlands 3. I'm just doing the main mission right now, and but what I'm doing is I'm like, whatever area I'm in, if there's any side missions, then I just try and knock them all out there too. So there's so much in this game. It's unbelievable. I did almost rage quit it.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, wow.
There was one boss, and I know for a lot of other people, and I'm going to just say the boss name, it's not really a spoiler, but for a lot of other people, they're probably going to be like, oh, that was easy. But Agonizer 9000 gave me a 3-day run. And I was so mad. I knew the patterns. I knew everything about it. But there was several instances where when I was trying to get my second wind, right as soon as I was ready for that last headshot, I had to reload, and boom, I died. And it's just like, wow. It was frustrating. I actually backed out of it, did a few little side missions, came back, had a different gun that actually worked really well, and was able to kind of pick off some of the areas that I needed to pick off. But I finally got it, so I can move on with my life. And I'm working my way toward the end. I'm sensing the ending is coming pretty soon. But I really don't want it to end, man. I'm having so much fun. So I mean, even when it's over, there will be a ton left to do. This game is basically carrying me through February, in my opinion. It could very easily do that for me. So I may just get the season pass as well. Just having so much fun with this game. So many guns, so much loot, so much fun. And I love the writing too, just really clever, and just like all the little death sentences that they say. There's some really funny moments where I've just been like, ha, that's hilarious. Yeah. Like out loud at 5 o'clock in the morning. So they're doing such a great job over at Gearbox. I'm so happy for them.
I was playing today, Tim, and I was battling. I went back to one of the very earliest boards and was battling like the little insectoid things, and they had like little monocles and top hats and fancy mustaches. And I was like, look at that. They all have on fancy hats and stuff like that. And someone in the chat pointed out to me that all of their names were named after people from Downton Abbey.
No.
Yes.
No. Oh my gosh. That is
I love that.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah, there was another area that I went into. Oh man, I can't remember what it was, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. But I was like, oh my gosh, that is super clever. Just these minor little things that go a long way, and it's just hilarious.
There's a great nod to the Fellowship of the Ring if you're a fan, that people who are fans will notice it and love it.
That's awesome.
You have my
completely. Yeah, right. You better get on that,
Going
Mr.
to
McCracken.
YouTube.
That's right. There you go. Going to YouTube now. I am also playing the Overwatch Halloween event. It's my favorite thing to do around the Halloween time. I got that Fireball Junkrat skin.
Nice.
So now we're on to the second week of the Halloween event. You know, I must say I have not been playing as much Junkenstein. It is fantastic target practice, I will say, but for me, I feel like it takes too long. Like it's a average of about 20 minutes to get it done.
No.
You don't think so?
No, not 20 minutes.
That's like 7 to 10 minutes, I think.
You think so? Wow, maybe I just suck. I don't know. We'll see. But I've been doing classic quick play in arcade, and I'm having some success and some failures. But at the same time, now correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm in arcade and I leave a game, I don't get penalized. Is that true?
Not necessarily, I don't believe. I don't know for sure, but I've heard that it still can count against you.
So,
okay. I mean,
yeah.
my score hasn't, my level just keeps going up and up. But what's happened?
No. So what they would do in the past is the penalty, if you would, is you would get something say like, oh, if you quit out too, no. If you, well, yes, but also if you quit out too many times, that they'll like suspend your account for a certain amount of time for leaving games early.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
I thought that's what you meant, not necessarily like a,
well,
you didn't earn
no,
enough
I
of
know
your XP
that.
or whatever.
No, I definitely know that. What I didn't know is if I'm playing in arcade in classic quick play, since it's not competitive or anything, do they still, I mean, I've left maybe 2 or 3, like for example, this morning, I probably left 2 games because they were about to win and I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm going to go on to the next one. I didn't see any percentage penalty or anything that way, but I mean, I still kind of fight through and through, but when I know that it's inevitable, that's when I'll bail and I'll try and move on to another one. And especially if my team is just horrible. But I feel like I've gotten a lot quicker to the loot boxes going that way than in Junkenstein. But I still love going in there and man, some of the maps they did, the new Hollywood map is so much fun to play in with the mist in there or the fog in there and everything. It's just, I just love all the little details they put into the whole Halloween event. So yeah, I'm going, we're moving on to the second week, and I'm just trying to get as many skins as possible. I did buy the Slasher 76 skin, which I wanted so badly. I got the, what was the McCree one, the death one.
Nice.
That was from last year. That was it's such a good. Just I'm going back and getting all my favorites. I've collected enough coins that I can just do that and just getting my favorite ones, and it's just so much fun. It's such a great event. And that is it for me, Mr. McCracken, sir. By all means.
I actually had a really big weekend this past weekend. So I'm going to start all the way over on Friday. Stacy's dad came into town with a couple of his buddies. There is an NHRA drag racing track, officially licensed drag racing track, a little bit south of the DFW Metroplex. And him and his buddies like to come down and go to races every so often when they come here. So he came down this weekend. So after work on Friday, Stacy came and picked me up. And then we drove down to where the drag strip was and met up with him and watched several of the races. You know, it's got like the funny car and the top fuel dragsters and pro stock and all this other kinds of stuff. Lots of like earplugs wearing and like body shaking as the car goes by and
I was
flames
gonna say, do you
and
feel
smoke
that?
and everything.
That would feel
my gosh, yeah,
awesome.
Dude, if you've never gone to a drag race, and like I'm talking NHRA drag race, it's one of those things. I know a lot of people say this about a lot of different things. I wouldn't necessarily say like, oh, you've got to go to a NASCAR race, even though I do think it's cool at least to go to it once. NHRA is just something different, and it goes by so quick, the one race, and then the next one's up there, and the next one is just like that sensation that you get when one of the big boys goes by. I don't know how to describe it. It's just
so cool.
Every person who's not experienced it, when they do, they're like, okay, I was prepared, or so I thought. Man, that was way different.
Yeah, that's so cool. So I dig that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's insane. So we met up with them, spent the evening there watching some races and whatnot, and then once that was over, we drove home. And then we woke up really quickly the next morning, pretty early, because Katie and Kale came over, and we made the trek down to Waco because this past weekend was Celebration at Magnolia.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
Yes. And we wanted to go down there and support Jenny like we try to do every single time that she's out there with Love and Lion. So we made it out there, and we left our house at or maybe a little bit before 6 a.m.
Nice.
Because the plan was to get there. Now, the Celebration, the official event, doesn't even open until like 9 or 9:30. But we were trying to get to Magnolia Table, which is the restaurant that they own, and eat there first, and then go over to Celebration. We got there, and it was going to be a 3-hour wait. And we got there at 7, a little bit past 7. Yeah, there was a lot, and that was after you wait through the line to put your name on the list. She said, we estimate it'll be about a 3-hour wait.
Wow.
So, I really don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to get up too much earlier than we did, but I still was not expecting that. I did expect it to have a little more, people there than normal because of the whole event and everything, but I was just not expecting that. So
how long does it take you to get to Waco?
I want to say it takes a little over an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes, something like that from where we are. It's really not that bad of a drive.
No.
Maybe 2 hours, depending on which direction you go, the route that you have to take. But yeah, so we just bailed and we went over to the silos because they also have this brand new coffee shop that they just opened called Magnolia Press. So instead we went to that. And we got some coffee and just some like little finger food stuff. And then obviously the ladies wanted to go to the bakery because that's one of the big draws for them. They wanted to get their seasonal cupcakes that they do. And during this time, around this season, there's one that Stacy really likes. I think it's called Campfire. It's basically like a s'mores brownie or a s'mores cupcake, excuse me. So we did that, and then about that time was when everything was opening up. So we went around, looked at all the different booths and all the little vendors and whatnot, and then we got to see Jenny and hang out with her for a little bit and show the support and share the love and everything like that. They were killing it out there. It was really, really awesome to see them having kind of a little collaboration with Magnolia proper, and like not just to have their booth, but they also had that little event where they had this wall and you stick your hand inside the wall. And you would get a tattoo on your hand, but it's called surprise tattoo because you can't see what you're getting.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's
and
great.
They were
Good
the ones
idea.
that had provided all the tattoos for that. And they would say, like, I got one that said Magnolia Celebration 5th anniversary or something like that, and everybody's was different. So there was a huge, like when we got there was a big line of people waiting to stick their hand in there and get their secret, their surprise.
Brilliant.
Right.
So yeah, great opportunity for them as it always is, but it was also really great to see Jenny and Leah, and we got to take a picture with them, and that was really cool.
Oh, very cool.
And then on Sunday, I guess I should back up a little bit. On Friday or Thursday, Stacy texted me a picture of 3 Cowboys game tickets.
Oh.
And I wrote back, I was like, does this mean what I think it means? And she said, yes, it does. So on Sunday night, because the Cowboys were playing the primetime Sunday night game, I got to go to the stadium with both of my brothers, who I found out my older brother, I did not even know this. He has never been to a Cowboys game ever in his life.
Oh, wow, really?
Oh, wow.
So I was like, oh my God. So not just this new stadium, like ever. I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane. So I got to take him and my younger brother, and the three of us went. It was just like a bro night. And I mean,
that's awesome,
Cowboys,
man.
they were 500 before this game, but it's against the Eagles, which is a division rival. So that game's always like, I don't care anything else. This game matters. And they just destroyed the Eagles, which I was not expecting. I was expecting it to be a close, back and forth match. And then my hope was that they would win outright at the end. And it was just not the Eagles' night. They did not have an answer for anything that was going on. They got
creamed.
It was bad for them and Eagles fans, but oh my gosh, was it getting wild up in there?
I bet.
Oh, I bet.
So that was a lot of fun to be there at a game like that, especially because out of most of the times that I've been there, I think that was my 6th or 7th game. The first 3 times I went there, they were all losses. Like, that is not fun.
No,
especially when you've paid to go there, which I know, it's a luck of the draw kind of thing. It just depends. But it's like, I've been on a good streak here lately, and the games I've been going to, they've been winning. So I'm feeling like I'm the good luck charm. So maybe I should get some more tickets and go to some more games.
There you go, man.
That's awesome, dude. I'm so glad you got to do that. It's funny, when we were in Philly, the exact same thing. Like, the Philly-Dallas game is always... And they would rip so hard on the Cowboys fans. And there
were a lot. I feel like there was a
mix.
Good amount. There was
a
good amount of people walking around in Eagles gear there. So it's not like they didn't have representation. They definitely did.
Yep.
Yeah, they were pulling their own there.
Then they get ribbed for it, which is awesome. It's always, those games, the divisional games are always hilarious. So that's really cool. I'm so glad you got to go, man.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And real quick, I want to mention this on the podcast. Guy in our community has been around, a listener of us for a long time, and he's just a really great guy. And we've played games together, and I actually guested on his podcast. Mr. Blessing Adeoye Jr. He was recently featured on Kind of Funny's We Have Cool Friends show.
Oh yeah.
And basically he was flown out there to San Francisco and spend a week with Kind of Funny, be on all these different shows, and then he was featured on this We Have Cool Friends show. Man, this guy, I mentioned this, man, it had to be like months and months back, but I was like, man, Blessing is like really going places.
Yep.
He is doing so good at all this stuff he's doing. His website is okbeast.com. I think their Twitter is at okbeast now. They do a lot of different podcasts for several different things. They do have a Patreon as well. They are really crushing it over there.
Yeah.
The whole team. But
So
Blessing
great.
in particular got to be part of this feature. And doggone it, if he didn't give Married to the Games a shout
It
out.
was so
boy,
cool.
repped it.
And
It
not
was
just like a shout out
amazing.
like, oh yeah, I listened to the show Married to the Games. Like he said, listen to Married Games. By the way, show them some love. And then gave like a spiel on what our show is and who we are and what we're
Yeah.
about.
It was
and
amazing.
how we're family friendly. And I was not expecting that at all. And unfortunately, Gabe's not here because he specifically calls out Mr. Gabe and says like, oh, you mentioned Gabe by name. So if you happen to be here because you heard a Blessing give that call out, please just wait till next week as well. Listen to that one too, because Gabe is not here. These are not the sultry tones that you usually would be hearing
That's
right about now.
This is the white boy edition.
Yeah, this is not what you will normally be getting. Well, actually, you will be
No.
getting this, but not in this time
Yep.
slot right here. This would be Gabe wrapping up the weekend updates
Yep.
right now.
And while you're waiting,
yeah.
we have 370 other episodes with Gabe that you can listen to.
Exactly, we do.
That is
So
exactly
you can go
right.
ahead
Just-
and backtrack just a little bit. You can take the 365 challenge if you want.
There you go.
That's right.
So yeah, I just gotta.
That was amazing,
Couldn't
man.
thank him enough for just
Yeah.
even mentioning us, which absolutely he did not have to do. And then again, I've said it to him on Twitter. I've said it to him, through DM at times, and it's just like, dude, you are killing it and crushing it, and you're gonna continue to just shoot higher and higher because you're really a great guy.
Yeah.
And so all the best to him. He's totally deserving of these accolades and stuff that he's getting, these features. So happy and so proud of him for being able to be a part of that stuff.
Could anyone have a more fitting name? I mean, come on.
I know,
Yeah, right?
It's just so perfect.
It was Destiny.
Yeah. So on the
Well,
gaming
Destiny
front,
could have been a good name too, by the way.
Oh, that would have been a good name. On the gaming front, so I've basically just been playing when I can squeeze it in. The two games that I have going on right now that are multiplayer focused but have Halloween-based modes, and that would be
Yay.
Overwatch and Apex Legends Season 3. I was able to get my 9 wins for last week, so I got the
Nice.
whatever the molten. I'm calling it the molten looking junkyard
Yeah,
skin.
whatever it was. Yeah,
That one's really cool. I think this week is the if you do the 9 wins in arcade, it's the Vampire Batiste.
That's correct. Yep.
correct?
Oh, which looks
Yeah.
so good. Yeah.
And then I'm really looking forward to the week after that when you can get the Sombra
Yeah.
skin. The
Yeah.
Demon Hunter, I think, is what it's
Yep.
called, and that one was originally it was a BlizzCon exclusive. Like if
Right.
you went to BlizzCon, you got a code or whatever it is, and you were able to get that skin. And now it's going to be made to where
Yeah,
we can get that
so
skin to
good.
it. And I've always thought it looked really cool. And unfortunately for myself, I've never been able to make it to a BlizzCon. So it's like I'm not going to ever get one of these cool skins. And then one of the ones that I like the best looks like I'm going to have my shot at getting my hands on
Yep.
it.
That's
So
awesome.
definitely looking forward to that. On the Apex front, they also are having a Halloween event, and there also are skins tied to it. But I don't have enough of the in-game currency to, or crafting material, I guess I should say, to craft the few skins that I want. And by the way, I'll say, their skins are not as good as the ones in Overwatch. There's only a handful of them that I think are really, really cool, but I don't have nearly enough to make even one. And which is kind of a bummer
wow.
because I could. One thing that Apex does that Overwatch does not do. So in Overwatch, you can buy coins or whatever, or you can buy loot boxes, but it's just random.
Yeah.
Whereas inside of Apex, you can buy coins, and then you can use those to go and purchase the actual item that you want. If it's a gun skin,
Right.
if it's
Got
a
it.
character skin, whatever you want. But and so that's amazing. I really like that. I wish that there was a way to just purchase gold inside of Overwatch, so then I could go buy exactly what I want without necessarily doing the loot box part. But again, I understand that's better for them and yada yada yada. I'm not necessarily complaining. I'm just trying to point out the differences. But the thing on Apex is that they're just a little high priced. Like one skin is basically $18.
Oh, wow.
And you have to
Wow.
buy the coins in increments of 1,000. So you'd have to spend 20 to buy a skin. So it's like maybe once or so, especially because it's a free-to-play game and I've spent almost no money on the thing outside of Battle Pass stuff. That might not be a big deal, but it's just like, I just don't know that I like that skin enough to want to spend $20 on it.
Right. Wow.
So I'm grinding through the Battle Pass, trying to earn my stuff to see if I can get a few more crafting materials, because I'm only like 100 or so away from getting one of the skins that I really would like to get. And there's only about 2 in there, maybe 3 that I'm really, really digging that I would like to have, but
nice.
At the end of the day, it's looking like I'm probably not going to be able to end up getting anything out of that. And they do have a Halloween-specific game mode going on right now, which is kind of similar to how Overwatch has Junkenstein's Revenge. But this one is a game mode where it's basically you drop in on the older map, which is Kings Canyon, because right now they're only playing normal Apex on the new map, which I don't even remember the name of it off the top of my head. It's actually a solos mode, but you fly in. The shields and like armor and stuff is very like there's very little of it to find in the world, and when you die, you become like a zombie. You basically spawn back in and drop in from the ship yet again, but now you're like an undead person and you're really fast. Cool. And so you're going and trying to kill the remaining survivors. And then once they get down to, I think it's 7 players, becomes a beacon on the map where a dropship's going to go, and all the survivors, they no longer are killing each other. They're just all trying to get to this dropship, and whoever makes it into the dropship, by the time it leaves, then they win. But if the zombies, so to speak, kill everybody before then the crowd of zombies win. So like on the winning screen, you'll see like 28 zombies that are sitting there, or however many it is, all on there.
Jeez, and that's tough.
It's really not that fun of a mode, if I'm being completely honest.
Really?
And
really?
Yeah, I really expected to like it. Now, I will say this. The look of the zombie people, like the skins and everything, I actually wish that was a skin you could get in the game because they look really cool. It is fun to be really fast, but you die so quickly. Like, it's one shot and you're dead.
Oh, wow.
So you really don't have a chance against the survivors until it gets close to the end, and you can go attack them with like 5 or 6 people where they just get overwhelmed and they can't shoot them all. That's the only way.
Do you have to melee?
Yeah, you just like swipe your arms at them, and that's all it is. Okay. And I think within 2 hit or a hit and a half, let's say, they'll be down, and then you have to hit them again to actually finish them off.
Oh, wow.
Got it.
And the map itself, it's all dark and you know, spooky looking and everything like that. That's really cool. It's just the game mode itself, I don't know if it's because it's only as solos, so you drop in by yourself. If it was a squad, I think it'd be more fun, although they'd have to give the zombie people way more health because they die way too fast, because a squad of 3 that's communicating can easily decimate in there. So I understand why they just, to keep it simple, went with the solos mode, but it's like when so many people, when they die and they turn into the zombies, like they just leave the game to go start a new one. So I don't know. It's just, I feel like it was a really good idea. And I don't know if it's just me, but on the execution of it, it's just every time I've jumped in, I'll play like a round or so, and then I'll be like, I'm good. So I just don't go in there super often. Yeah. And almost everything that you can earn within the event is tied to achieving certain milestones on that game mode. And I'm just not playing that game mode. Yeah. So unfortunately for me, because I don't have enough crafting material to get to craft the skins I want, and I don't really care for the game mode that's specific to the event, it's basically just like normal Apex to me. I'm not just playing, which I enjoy, but it's just kind of it's a bit of a bummer that, man, I'm not really getting any of the Halloween-y stuff out of it because I'm not really enjoying any of it.
That's too bad.
So that's a bit of a bummer, but you know, they tried something, and I do think the skins are cool whenever I drop it in on the new map and somebody's like a Frankenstein or whatever, or a witch or a pumpkin head or whatever. I think it's really cool, and it's like, oh man, that's an awesome skin. Wish I had that, but it's nice to see them running around and everything like that. So kudos to those that really enjoy the game mode, because I do think there's a lot of people out there who enjoy it. It's just, I don't think that it's for me.
Right.
And it's just not something that I'm going to be
back to Overwatch you go. That's fine.
Yeah, and actually, because now that I've got a new week of, you know, arcade stuff I got to do, so I'm going to be jumping back over into Overwatch anyways and getting that all going. We're getting closer and closer to Death Stranding dropping. So
Yes,
once
we
that
are.
happens, that's probably what I'm going to be playing until November. Unless
Yes.
it's horrible, which I will cry, but then I'll still hug my little baby in a canister.
Man, I really,
When does that drop?
I am praying.
I think it's actually, let me see right here. It is November 8th.
Okay.
Because it's a Friday release.
Wow, that's super. I thought it was like mid-November. That's super
it's
close.
November 8th. And then also this coming Friday is, maybe I'm spoiling this for the new game releases. I will wait and let Mr. Tim do that.
No worries. No worries. You do your thing. But, man, I am praying for you that Death Stranding is everything that you want it to be. I think.
Yeah, me too.
I have a feeling it will be.
I don't know what I want it to be. I just want it to be good.
Right.
Yeah, that's the
thing.
end
Like,
of the day.
but that's the thing. Nobody knows what it's gonna be.
Yep.
But they're just dying to get in on
Yeah.
it. And I know there has been people who have played some and have loved it. So I'm praying that is you. To it.
I have heard that review copies have been going out in the wild, and they're starting to be spoilers hitting the internet. So I've been kind of avoiding things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
But if the game's as long as I'm anticipating it might be, it's like, I don't know if I could be off the internet for like 3 months or whatever the heck it's going to
Right.
be. So hopefully something doesn't get spoiled for me. But we'll just have to see.
No pressure, Chris, but your thoughts on the game will pretty much probably decide whether or not I get it. Because right now I'm just so unsure.
Me too.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the first. Every Metal Gear that came out, I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting that and I'm going to love it. And pretty much that was the way that it happened. This is the first game, like, I'm openly admitting even now. By this point, I thought I would understand more about the game.
Yeah.
I really don't know if I'm going to like it. I'm still getting it, and I'm glad I'm getting the collector's edition, and I'm going to be happy to have my little baby in a canister on my shelf. But I do not know if I'm going to love this game.
Yeah.
I really have no clue. I'm totally taking... let me put it this way. If it wasn't a Hideo Kojima game, I would totally be waiting on this game.
You wouldn't be touching
I think
this.
most people
Yeah,
would.
you would wait.
No, I would be waiting and be like, okay, but because it's him and it's the developer of my favorite game of all time, it's like I'm riding with it. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt until I'm proven otherwise.
Yep.
So
well, and this is his flagship game too, like him going solo and doing all the stuff that he had to go through before.
I mean,
like this is his breakout, man. I hope he just knocks it out of the park
for
your sake, for his sake.
I mean, I'm very similar to Gabe in that I really don't play very many spooky games, but I played PT because his name was tied to it. I mean, so if that tells you anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to give it a shot. I just have no clue. So I will be completely open. I'm not gonna like blow smoke at anybody and be like, "Oh, this is amazing." If I'm like not liking it at all, I will be totally on the up and up about it. But yeah, fingers crossed, and we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, man.
So that is it for me.
Awesome.
I guess the next part would be, Mr. Router, do you got it?
I got it.
Oh crap! I have to do the other part too.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Oh no! It just like literally hit me. I was like, "You got it." Like, who does that next part? Oh, that's me.
This is you.
Oh gracious!
Come on, brother,
Okay,
give
here
it
we
to
go.
us. I know you got it.
Let's do it.
Nice.
Don't be so mad at me.
No, man. Well played.
I'm waking her up every 2 minutes.
That's amazing.
Oh, gracious.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, let's start with some new releases. We've got Beholder 2 for the PS4, Raging Loop for the PS4 and Switch, Tangle Tower for the PC and Switch, WWE 2K20 for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One, Cat Quest 2 for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, meow meow, Door Kickers Action Squad for the PS4, Xbox One, and of course the mega hit coming out this week, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is out and about. So get your Call of Duty on. We also have Medieval for the PS4, which is coming out, and The Outer Worlds for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Okay, let's go back. This day in gaming. We're going to go back 18 years ago.
Nice.
October 22nd, 2001, for the PlayStation 2, Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh, I remember that game.
Right? 2001, Grand Theft Auto 3. 12 years ago, October 22nd, 2007, for the DS, PlayStation 2, and PSP, The Sims 2 Castaway.
Huh.
Interesting.
6 years ago, October 22nd, 2013, Ed, you'll love this, PC, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Lego Marvel Super.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
And this one's really for me. 4 years ago, October 22nd, 2015, for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, my very first Assassin's Creed Platinum, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, came out during this time. I loved that game. That was my first Platinum.
I did not realize your first Platinum was on Syndicate.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't get the Black Flag
I didn't either.
Platinum.
Darn.
So, because that was a tricky one, if I can recall. But Syndicate was my first Platinum from Assassin's Creed.
Nice.
So it was. I really did enjoy that one. It wasn't for everybody, but I super loved it. We have MPD for September.
Well, there we go.
Let's get into it. So September of 2019 tracked spending across video game hardware, software, accessories, and game cards totaled $1.278 billion, which is down 8% compared to a year ago. So, $1.2 billion ain't no thing, right?
No thing.
The slowing hardware sales are the biggest reason for the drop. Speaking of hardware spending fell 22% compared to a year ago. Nintendo Switch is continuing to crush it. It's the only platform with sales gains both in September as well as year to date. I am blown away, man. These guys, they're just, as everyone is declining and going down, they just continue to sell. Mm-hmm. So good on them for the Switch. Let's get to the top 10 selling games for September. We're going to start. Number 10, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Wow.
Number 9, NHL 20. That's you, Ed. All
me.
you. Number 8, Code Vein.
Oh, wow. Good for them.
What was Code Vein?
Code Vein is a Dark Souls style game,
yes.
but it's the anime characters.
Yes, gotcha.
It actually looks super interesting.
Yeah. 7, Gears 5.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Hey, real quick, I don't know if it says anywhere in there or if you guys just can remember the answer to this, but when a game like Gears 5,
I was just thinking that.
Purchases of Game Pass count towards it, or is that independent of Game Pass?
Because that just shocks me that it makes it on there.
I got you, because they did mention this. They said Gears 5's debut at number 7 may seem disappointing at first, but it's important to remember that it's part of Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass subscription. Anyone can get the game as part of that membership for just $10 a month, and Microsoft has had a number of promotions that charge much less than that. So this is going to be interesting with Game Pass, how MPD is going to be tracking everything. Granted, they still track mostly brick and mortar and digital sales, but now that you have these subscription-based programs, I'm curious if they're going to change anything. So
based
Gears
on that,
5,
it sounds like their ranking of it is based on sales of either the actual copy of the game.
Yeah, that's impressive to me.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem low. That's higher than I would expect.
And that's why they said, I mean, coming in at number 7, that's not anything to sneeze at, considering a lot of people do have Game Pass. So that's pretty amazing.
Right.
I guess they're saying that because it's a major tentpole game for that, and so you would think it'd be somewhere closer to 1. But yeah, when you factor in the fact that that's all outside of Game Pass subscribers, that's pretty good little dent there.
Yeah, and I think that's what's gonna potentially skew some MPD, and hopefully they'll continue. I'm glad that they addressed it, and I hope they continue to do that, because these subscription programs are starting to come out more. So what is this a skewed top 10 based on that? But they will constantly track brick and mortar sales. They'll constantly track digital sales. And as long as they keep doing that, that at least gives you some sort of gauge. And I think a lot of people know that, oh, hey, I can get that on Game Pass too. Well, I'm glad they mentioned something.
Yeah, and as you know, we have Stadia coming around the corner, which I don't know if that's going to factor into things. And then with PlayStation Now just recently reducing its price to $10 a month or $60. I think it's $60 for the year or something like that. Or no, what is it? I don't know, something like that. I wonder if I'm pretty much expecting that at least next generation, if not sooner, I bet PlayStation Now is going to follow Microsoft's lead and add the whole first-party games
They've
are
got to.
on their service as well day and date. Like, I could see them not doing it to finish out this generation, but I feel like absolutely that's going to be a part of PlayStation Now, assuming that carries on into PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I don't think they're going to touch anything with the current gen. I think this is going to be a PS5 thing.
So then it becomes like, well, how does all that factor into...
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's I'm curious to see, A, how NPD does it, and B, will there be a new set of tracking, because obviously they can't access Microsoft or Microsoft would have to release probably the popular downloads of Game Pass, but that doesn't really quantify for NPD anyway, because they're focusing on dollar sales. So at that point, it becomes more of a popularity contest than an actual sales figure. So yeah, I don't know how this is going to go down come subscription time, but I'm glad they did address it. I think it's good to note. But yeah, so that was a good point. So I said number 6 was Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Number 5, Madden NFL 20. Number 4, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Number 3, FIFA 20.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Borderlands 3.
Ooh.
Number 1, this was bound to happen, NBA 2K20.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It debuts as the best-selling game of September and instantly becomes the best-selling game of 2019 year to date.
Wow.
So you can't beat NBA 2K20 on that. Borderlands 3 set a new franchise launch month sales record, debuting at number 2, and currently ranks as the 3rd best-selling game of the year so far. So
wow.
good on you, Gearbox. Way to go. So, yeah, man, I did not realize how much of a monster
I didn't either.
2K is, and it is. I mean, Gabe loves that game, so yeah, it is a monster. So good on you. That is it for me, gentlemen. Back to you in the news.
All right. So real quick, either of you guys have any interest in the upcoming Call of Duty?
I will probably look at it and watch people play it, but if it's got that campaign mode, if it looks good, I might be tempted.
Yeah, I am absolutely tempted.
Nice.
Of course, I've always played, or not always, but I've got many, many years of Call of Duty multiplayer under my belt.
Yeah.
The last one that I bought and played was World War II.
Yeah.
I did not buy Black Ops 4. I didn't really have that much interest. Definitely interested in this one, and I thought all the little snippets we've seen from the campaign seem amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they changed up all their method of how they're monetizing the game.
Yeah.
So they removed all the loot box stuff. They said, look, we're just going to have a season pass, or not a season pass, a battle pass, which is kind of more the battle royale mode, which I think is great. And it seems like they're going to be very limited on the whole microtransaction side, because that was something I was definitely annoyed by, the way that Activision has handled that stuff before. It seems like they're making all the right moves. I absolutely think I'm going to be picking this game up. I don't think I'm picking up this Friday. I just don't. I'm not really in the
thinking
right
Black Friday?
I don't know. It really depends. I mean, honestly, if I just had the funds, quite frankly, I would probably buy it this weekend.
Yeah.
But it's just and I could buy it. It's just I don't think it's a financially smart decision at this moment. I need to wait a little bit more time.
That's
Sure.
good.
Sure.
So I do think that I'm going to be picking it up. If it lasts all the way until Black Friday, then heck yeah, I'll try to pick it up on some kind of deal somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they'll have some sort of deal on that.
But one of the strange things about this is that if you are interested in Call of Duty Modern Warfare and you play on the PlayStation 4 and you live in Russia, you're not going to be buying the game digitally because Sony has delisted the game from the digital version of the game, I should say, from the Sony PlayStation Store in Russia.
Yep.
And they have not told anybody why.
Wow.
And it is insane because the game is still being offered digitally on Xbox One and PC. And Activision, they confirmed it. They're like, so Call of Duty Modern Warfare is being delisted from PlayStation Store, but it's still available for Xbox One and PC.
Ooh, Putin pissed off PlayStation. Something happened.
What's crazy is that Sony has the marketing deal with Activision. And they're delisting their game that they paid for all this marketing stuff in Russia. Now, it seems like, where my head goes initially is that many, many years ago in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, there was a very infamous scene in the game, or a mission that you had to play, or actually, technically, you didn't have to play it. You could skip it. It was called No Russian, and what it is the main protagonist in the Modern Warfare series, then, at that time, it was a trilogy. They walk through a Russian airport, and they murder a bunch of people.
Okay.
And they themselves are Russian, but they're trying to blame it on America, so that's why it's called No Russian, because right before the guy says, remember, no Russian, because saying that the people doing this attack can't speak any Russian so that they can pass off that it was another country that did this. I believe it was the U.S. that they were trying to blame for this atrocity.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, that's a controversial scene and level in a game, and it's tied to Russia, and so, okay, but it's like... But this game, as far as I know, does not take place in Russia. I mean, maybe there's a level or a part of the story that something ties with Russia, but it's like, it's so weird. It's like, why would Russia and only Russia be the place where this is delisted? And it's only being done by PlayStation.
Right, that's the weird part for me. Why in the world, like if it was PlayStation and Microsoft, then I'd be like, okay, something's going on. There might be something that's a little sensitive. But why is it only PlayStation? And this just in, the next Call of Duty is probably going to be featured first on Microsoft next year, in the next years to come. If this is going to be a blunder, I mean, Activision can't be happy with that.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole other market that they can't tap into, but Microsoft is. So how is that even possible?
And so Activision, they did release a statement to Eurogamer and said, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a fictional game that has been thoughtfully created to entertain fans and tell a compelling story. Sony Interactive Entertainment has decided not to sell Modern Warfare at the PlayStation Store in Russia at this time. We look forward to launching Modern Warfare digitally in Russia on October 25th on PC via Battle.net and on console via Xbox. Now, we have to assume that they are still going to be selling the physical version, so the people who are playing it on PlayStation 4 still have a way to play the game. You just won't be able to get it digitally. And whatever, like, I think it's just that one game mode, that one horde mode is the only thing that's exclusive, at least timed exclusive to PlayStation. So if you are in the country of Russia and you want to play and you want to have that timed exclusivity stuff, you got to buy the game physically, which I'm sure for most people that's not really a big deal. But it just seems like such a strange situation.
That is weird.
That there's got to be some information that comes out, either officially or leaked information soon, as to what in the world is going on. Like, what? We just need to know a reason. Like, if you want to do it, Sony, whatever, do your thing, but just tell us why, because you just look like it looks totally weird. There's no explanation for it. I don't know.
It's so
weird.
weird.
I mean, maybe part of the game does take place in Russia, or a bigger chunk of Russian something or other is involved in the game that I'm not aware of. I really.
But then, why would you still sell physical copies, and why is Microsoft still selling?
That's really weird. Yeah,
that is weird. That is super weird. That makes no sense. And that could be kind of a PR blunder for them. Like because that could piss off Activision too.
Yeah. Like,
I'd be a little upset. I'm like, give them instant access to our game now versus having to go out and get it physically. Why wouldn't, this is less money that they're getting.
I will say, I don't know. Initially, I kind of thought the same thing. Maybe it won't necessarily upset Activision as much, especially if physical versions are still available, because they do make more money off the physical version. So
true.
Who knows? I don't know how angry Activision's going to get, but yeah, it's definitely a head scratcher. And at some point, some information's got to leak, whether it's just from trusted sources or something. I just want to know a reason. Yeah, I don't really even care what it is. I just want to hear it.
Let's definitely mark this as a let's follow up on this one. I'm dying to know what when this story comes out. Like, what I really want to know, like, what exactly is his reason.
So the three of us, unfortunately, the one person who does dabble with some PC gaming is not on the show this evening. But so the three of us can't really speak to this in person or firsthand experience necessarily. But Coffee Stain Studios, which are the people who made Goat Simulator back in the day, that was a lot of fun. They're making a new open world factory building game called Satisfactory, and they decided to go Epic exclusive with this game. And the developer explained that the decision for that is because it offered the team greater financial security and expense, like an ability to help handle their expenses and everything. And they're basically going to bat for the Epic Games Store, because as you guys know, and we've kind of talked about this before, there are a lot of people out there that are just do not like the Epic Games Store, hate that it exists. just get mad anytime that any of these developers release a game on there, be it full-time exclusivity or a timed exclusivity. They just are not having it. And so they came out and said, look, the designer, Natalie Verwey is how I'm going to say her last name, Verwei. She explained, I think as an indie studio, it's nice to have that security that you know that your game is going to get out there and you don't need to worry about making certain financial deadlines. You can just focus on making a good game. And this is just another one of those things where I've got to say, so many of these developers, more so on the indie side, that have come out and like, hey, we're going to put our game on the Epic Game Store. It's going to be a timed exclusive or whatever. They've said how the way that Epic's doing things is really helpful to these developers. And I understand, like, if you love Steam and you love the conveniences of Steam and you love the features that Steam offers, like the message boards and the community stuff and whatever else there is that is absent from the Epic launcher, I can get all how that can be frustrating. But it's like the fact that some people out there are just like beating these developers down because they're on the Epic Game Store and not Steam, or not on Steam just yet. Man, the more developers that come out and say like, hey, Epic Game Store is actually doing really good stuff for us, I'm just inclined to believe it. I mean, again, I know this particular issue is not necessarily affecting me because I don't really play games on my computer super often. It's just like, is it really that big of a deal? I really don't understand. I've had people in our Discord and other people in our community try to explain, like, in 100, 280 characters or whatever it is, whichever your platform is that you're trying to explain it, and I just still don't get it. I'm just like, I mean, I hear how that's a minor annoyance, but really that's something to pound the fist on?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
To me, and again, I'm speaking out of pure ignorance here, but to me, it's similar to saying, I want to get this product from Target. Oh, they only sell it at Walmart. Okay, I'll get it there online. Like, I don't get why there's
either way you can get it. So what the method of getting it? Why is it such a big deal? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, this developer, she did come out and say, like, look, I believe that it really is just a vocal minority that's doing all this, and it probably is. I mean, people are still going to the Epic Game Store and buying things. The last thing that I played on my computer off of Epic was I tried Fortnite. I was like, no, I'm going to give it a little shot on my computer. Didn't really jive with me. Now, I will say, I really want to play Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah.
And I don't have a Switch, and it's available on Mac on the Epic Game Store. So I think I'm going to buy it there. It depends on if it has controller support. I really don't feel like playing it with a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't, then, who knows, might be a Switch in my future. But I really want to play that game, and I'm not bothered at all that it's on Epic. I don't care where it is. I'm just happy that I have the opportunity to buy the thing.
I don't get that.
And to me, I just don't see why there aren't more people that are doing that. Again, understanding all the little annoyances. I get that. But it's like, I don't know. I hate to be a dead horse because I know we've kind of been down this road before where it's like, well, you don't really get it. But I just can't underscore enough. I just don't see how it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But you're right. If developers are saying that Epic is making it easy for the developers and really kind of catering to the developer, you have to believe them, because how are we going to know? First off, but if Epic's treating the developers right the way, and they're feeling that, they're doing something right. Yeah. So
people wouldn't continue to sign up for these exclusivity deals if they were really getting raked over the coals, or it was a horrible thing. Because especially on the indie developers, in this day and age, more than probably any other time, you can't just be like, oh yeah, they're giving me a paycheck. Yes, that's probably part of it as well, as they've mentioned before. But it's like, if we're going to get paid if we do this exclusive deal, but everybody's going to hate us and nobody's going to buy our game, then they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So that tells me the games are still selling, and that the problem's not as big as she mentions in this article, that the vocal minority makes it seem like it is.
Yeah.
And they're coming to bat for Epic Game Store, so they've got to be doing something right. I can't believe that.
Kudos to them for standing their ground and for just being like, hey, this is how we're doing it, and like it or leave it. But, it is where it is. And, I think that's great. I think that, hey, people are getting paid, and families are getting fed, and that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
If
So,
it truly is helping the
quit your
developer,
belly aching.
then good on them. You know, they're making the games
Yep.
you want to play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
It sounds like this is more of a popularity contest. Steam and like all these steamers are going over there and being like, "Oh, Epic's terrible." Blah
Did you just
blah, blah.
call them
Whatever.
steamers?
I did call them steamers.
Man, I wonder if that's an actual thing or if not, if we just
If
coined
it-
that.
Copyright, Married to the Games, trademark, Married to the Games. Anyway, but it sounds like this is, and honestly, it's going to be a personal preference anyway. So you can't say one is better than the other because that's up to you. You're going to have a preference. Am I going to go to Target or am I going to go to Walmart? I prefer Target, because it's closer. But if I still have to go to Walmart, I'll still go to Walmart. It's not that big of a deal. So why? I mean, I don't know. Maybe our PC listeners can enlighten us a little bit, but to me, it sounds like just one big popularity contest.
I will say this. I got no problem with people airing their grievances and helping and Epic taking note and making things better, which I'm going to assume that they're working towards. Don't know how much ground they've made on that. Because I know that, or I don't know, but there's been a lot of these things where Epic's getting these things, and I know Steam has changed some stuff up and done some things. So it's just they're making each other better because of where you're going to buy your stuff. So hopefully it all just works out in the end. And hopefully all games end up coming to every platform at some point, and it's not like an egregious, crazy long exclusive unless Epic actually made the game or Steam made the game or something like that.
Yep.
So the last story that I got is Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
So Taco Bell has kind of been like the gamers' food place for a while, at least in terms of at least that's what they would like to be, because they've given away Xbox One X's, they've given away PlayStation 4s.
Who did we know that won one of those?
Arctic Warlock's
Okay.
won one. Yeah, he won an Xbox One X through one of these promotions that Taco Bell did. Well, they're back at it again. So the way that it works is, and Microsoft had announced this new promotion with Taco Bell saying that if you purchase a $5 box of food online or using the Taco Bell app, you'll be entered to win an Xbox One X. So that's very similar to the way that it had been done in the past. I don't believe in the previous versions where you were forced, or maybe forced isn't a little too strong of a word, but where you had to go online or use this app to do it. I think you could just drive through. Seems like this one's tied specifically to using one of these apps, but still, same premise overall. But another thing is that you'll get a code for 14 days of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Wow, that's smart.
And Wario64 on Twitter pointed out that if you do this, so you get the 14 days, and then if you sign up for reoccurring billing, you get another free month on top of that. So you essentially will come out with 44 days of Xbox Game Pass.
Wow.
For the price of, a taco meal.
That's not
and
bad.
explosive diarrhea afterwards.
So,
but that's beside the point. Yeah.
So, and you will be entered in the possibility of winning an Xbox One X.
Wow.
So, nice. Good on him.
Especially if this is, your jam anyways.
Right?
You might as well go ahead and do this and then get yourself some Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah.
That's great.
And just as it is with most different things and the way that Taco Bell has done this every single time, you can actually enter without even making a purchase, which, by the way, is how Arctic Warlock won his. He didn't even buy anything there. He did the free entry.
Did he really?
And he won his Xbox One X. Yes, he did.
Wow.
Now,
interesting.
With the free entry, usually it's somewhere, you have to read down in the little stuff. I'm sure Arctic Warlock, if he hasn't already, will break it down for us because he did it the last time they had this contest and said, this is how I won. I found the fine print. The 14-day trial thing is not part of the free entry that you can do for the sweepstakes. It's only for the Xbox One X. So if you're looking for the 14-day trial of Game Pass and then add the reoccurring billing where you get an extra month on top of that, you have to actually purchase through the app. That part is tied to that specifically.
Okay.
Okay.
And this contest goes through November 23rd, so you still got time. You got about a month, as of this recording anyways, to go and try and win yourself an Xbox One X or get yourself some Game Pass Ultimate.
Nice. I like it.
That's
Good
really
heads up.
cool.
Yeah. And that is it for me.
He's done.
I am done.
I like it.
Ed,
Yes.
what you got on our YouTubes?
Over on the YouTubes, we've got Borderlands 3, parts 13 through 15. Some gameplay of Lonely Mountains Downhill. My frustratingly horrible stream of Felix the Reaper. And then Jackbox Party Pack 6. Go and check those out. Free games over on Game Pass this week. World War Z you can play. Dirt Rally 2.0, Stellaris, Lonely Mountains Downhill, and then by the time this is out,
Lonely
October
Mountains
20
Downhill is on it?
It is. Yes.
Shut it.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And
down on that.
October 25th, The Outer Worlds is available as well.
October
There you go.
25th. I want to give that a shot too. Which, by
Yeah, I
the
do too.
way, that game is coming to PC. I guess that's obvious, but it's also coming to PlayStation 4. But I believe because isn't that Obsidian, the developer that Microsoft had purchased?
That I don't know.
Okay, I believe it's Obsidian. If someone's gonna oops me, maybe I'll look it up here in a minute. But it is a developer that Microsoft purchased, and the deal was already in place for this game to be part of PlayStation 4. But I believe Microsoft has said publicly that if this game does well and we decide to make a sequel, the sequel will be an Xbox exclusive. So,
Oh, wow.
keep that in mind. Like, if you only have a PlayStation 4, hey, and you really are interested in the game, get it, play it, love it, do your thing.
Yeah.
But if you're one of those people that likes to play your series on the same platform, maybe you go Xbox this
Right.
round. Especially because it's going to be part of Game Pass anyways.
Yeah, exactly. And then it was funny seeing people on Discord say, I'm not sure about this game. I'm not sure if I want to buy it or not. And I'm like, man, if you've got Game Pass, it's free.
Yeah.
Just try it.
Yeah. I definitely plan to give it a try because I bought that 3-month bundle or whatever of Game Pass. So I still have mine for at least another 2 months. If
Nice.
not a month and a half or 2.5 months.
There you
So
go.
I'm going to be jumping in for sure. And now I'm going to be jumping into Lonely Mountain because I did not know that was on there.
Yeah,
I was
man.
actually looking at the store a little bit ago and I didn't see it.
Nice.
Nice. That's awesome. All right. Well, listen, every week we ask you guys a question, and this past week was no different. However, all
It's this week
of the
that's different,
answers,
not last
but we
week.
did
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
you, what is your favorite video game sound?
Yep. We've got a couple. On Discord, Cheechzilla says Unreal Tournament's announcer, especially when he announces you've achieved a monster kill.
Monster kill.
Oh, nice.
Jerk Alert and
Nice.
Jared Orr both said right now it has to be the sound of those PlayStation trophies popping.
Hey.
And then through email,
Ah.
Gabe was able to send me a few emails. Mike Doherty, I've always loved the Konami intro Metal Gear Solid sound. Got me excited
Nice.
every time I booted it up. Hear
Nice.
this, you know you're in for a good time. Back me up, McCracken.
Yeah. I know what he's talking about.
Jason Lorette says the Pac-Man dying sound is his favorite sound.
Ooh, all right.
I don't know why,
Old
but
school.
it's one of the sounds that has
Oh.
stuck with me from my childhood. And then
That's cool.
finally, Kirsten Engberg says the
you
Ocarina
go.
of Time is my all-time favorite game. What I love about this sound is that most Zelda games have their version of those same 4 notes as you open certain treasure chests.
Really?
There you go.
Did
I did not either.
know
Look at
that.
I didn't either.
That's very, very
Yeah.
cool. Well, you know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the games, Twitter.com/MTTG. Where else we got YouTube.com/married to the games. Wait, is our Twitter MTTG cast
At
or MTTG? I
MTTG
never
cast.
remember that. Cast, that's right. I'm the one that set it up too. That's the funny thing. Well, there you have it. We also got over on Patreon, patreon.com/ that's where
Yes.
it's MTTG. If you want to throw $1 in the bucket, we would appreciate
Yes.
it. That would be awesome. Dude, we got Extra Life coming up
really
real
do.
soon. Extra Life, extra-life.org/team/MTTG. We have a mountain of donations to attain, hopefully. I feel like we can do it this year. But we will definitely have to check it out. And Ed,
Rate us on iTunes, leave a review, listen to us twice, and Chris McCracken might fill in for your job as well.
Hey!
boom!
I can do bad at someone else's job.
Aw,
That's right.
killing it, dude.
Well, guess what, Chris? You get to do it one more time,
Oh, I
brother.
know.
Come on, lead it.
I'm already, I still
lead
got
us
the
in,
nervous
man.
Gut right now.
Wow, you got it.
You're killing it.
Let it flow.
You're killing
Let
it.
flow.
All right.
Have that
Here we go.
confidence.
Let's get into some questions.
you go, man. Look at that.
On pitch and everything.
Why are you
well
nervous?
played,
Why
sir.
are you nervous?
Yes, you got nothing to be nervous about. This is
Gabe's the one with something nervous
great.
right now.
Oh,
That's right.
shots fired.
He got
shots
some
fired.
competition. He's got some competition. All right, we're going to start with Discord. We're going to start with Greek gamer Nick Huntress. What is your favorite non-gaming hobby?
Ooh,
Chris, start with you.
My favorite non-gaming hobby. Well, this is a bit of a cheat, but I like. Well, I guess not technically. I like doing photography / video, which I do video
Nice.
for a living. But I like to do them on the side. I haven't done them a lot just for fun in a really long time. It's been to do side work and everything, which I also enjoy. But I really enjoy doing just creative video and video projects that are on my own, or getting out and just shooting photography of just stuff that I want to see photos of.
That's great, man. Mr. Ed?
Yeah. I think listening to comedy and comedy-related
Nice.
Yeah.
watching or listening to comedy.
That's
Cool.
all you, man. That is so you. Yeah, you guys are still gonna make fun of me for this, but I still love doing my little martial arts that I've been doing the past
Nice.
2 years. Han Mudo, it's great exercise, and he also does kickboxing to like some kickboxing classes. So I've been kind of mixing that in with it.
Oh, very cool.
And we're also doing a lot more sparring now too, and I'm really enjoying that quite a bit. So
Yeah.
it's good, man. It keeps the blood going. It keeps me young, and so I totally appreciate it.
Cool.
So,
Very nice.
I'm definitely enjoying it. Friggin' nutcase, Travis. What was the first game you ever beat?
Oh,
Wow.
jeez. I do not know the answer.
I have no idea.
I honestly, so I had, the NES and SNES and all, going on and forward. I don't think I beat a single game in the NES years. I know I did in the SNES years, but I don't remember I can remember beating Street Fighter 2 with numerous different characters.
Yeah.
That's the first one that comes to memory. There's probably something during the NES time frame that I beat, but
You never beat Super Mario
I never
Brothers?
beat Super Mario Brothers. I didn't beat any of them. They
Really?
were just too long and too hard.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I
Really?
had fun. I didn't get frustrated. Like back then, I just wanted to be playing a game. But I never
Right,
stuck
yeah,
with
right.
one game long enough to even make it to the end, even if skill wise I could. I never did.
Wow, interesting. Ed, what about you?
I want to say it was maybe Super Mario Brothers, but I don't even remember. I feel like I finished it, but I don't recall.
Yeah, that to be honest, that was my first game that I ever beat. My cousins had an NES,
Yeah.
and we had Super Mario, and we had gone through all the different levels, and then I beat it, and it was great. But I will say, in my newer gaming career that started 8 or 9 years ago, the first game I beat was Uncharted 2, because
Nice.
that was my PlayStation 3 Uncharted 2 bundle. That was what got me into this beautiful thing called gaming.
There you
in
go.
the first place. So yeah, it was really neat.
That's awesome.
Fluxel, Adam Paith. If you could have a celebrity co-host the podcast for 1 week, who would you want that to be, and why would they make a good co-host?
Oh, wow.
Mine will be Chris McCracken right now, because he's
killing
crushing
it,
it
man.
right now.
He's killing it.
Right?
Goodness
He'll be a
gracious.
celebrity after this. He'll be a celebrity. Well, he already was, but what say you, Chris? What do you got?
So here's I know this wasn't part of the question, but the reason I'm struggling with this is, am I just thinking of a celebrity that I like, or does it need to
Sure.
be a celebrity that knows something about gaming?
Well, I mean, they would be co-hosting our
I know.
podcast, so we'd probably want them to be a little bit into gaming, but it doesn't have to, because we can always do one of our interview cast episodes and talk about whatever.
I mean, honestly, I don't have any inkling that he plays games, but I would just really like to be on a show with James Hetfield, which is the lead singer of Metallica.
Oh, nice.
And
That's awesome.
I would just
nice.
like to be on a podcast with him, even if it wasn't ours. I would just want to do it just to listen to him tell his stories and everything. I think that'd be amazing.
Oh, that's really cool. Ed, who do you got?
Man, if it was living or dead, I would say Robin Williams, because I know he was a gamer.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you imagine what the podcast we would be?
It
all
would be
over
a
the
4-hour
place.
show. It would
Yeah,
just not.
It would
stop.
definitely be. Oh my gosh, it would totally be a 4 hour, and we would all our abs would be killing us because we would be crying. I'm laughing so hard. Oh, that's a good one, Ed. I like that. I was going more like who was I? Who was it? I was thinking more like Troy Baker because I'd like to pick his brain more about all.
That'd be good.
All of his different voices. I mean, he's been on the show, but at the same time, I would love for him just to sit and hang with all of us, and just that way we can just kind of go back and forth about, you know, all the characters he's played, all the voices, and I think he would just be fun.
Yeah.
We've already heard him once on one of our episodes, and he's just so amazing. And I'd love to hear more because that episode is still one of my favorites.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see. Beefmaster Serta, do you remember your first experience with an arcade or pinball machine? Restaurant, arcade, movie theater. Do you remember the game?
I think our bowling alley that we went to as kids had a couple pinball machines, and that's probably where I remember on a regular basis seeing pinball machines.
So did you start with pinball versus actual arcade? You started with pinball machines?
Probably just because we didn't have an arcade near us, and the bowling alley was just right uptown, and we could walk up there. There was a restaurant that had one of those tabletop Donkey Kongs that you sat down at and could put your burger and fries on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely remember mine would be Pizza Hut, sit down, Miss Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably, that was either Pac-Man or probably, I think the tabletop was more Miss Pac-Man, but I remember going into Pizza Hut, smelling that wonderful pizza smell, and just putting some quarters in on Miss Pac-Man. Chris, how about you?
Mine actually is the same. I don't know for sure if it was Donkey Kong or Miss Pac-Man, but it was one of the two. Mm-hmm. As far as where, I'm not exactly sure where it was. If I had to guess, it was probably as well a bowling alley, because I would go there a lot when I was younger, or a roller rink, like for roller skating, because they had arcades there as well.
That's right.
And then I've actually never really been much for pinball. I mean, pinball is one of those things where I love seeing all the different pinball machines, especially their themes and how they lay out the course
artwork,
and all that kinds of stuff. But the actual game itself, I'm horrible at it. So I just never got into playing the actual games myself, even though I think they're awesome, and I wouldn't even mind having one or two, somewhere down the road, because the art on them is amazing, and just the way that the course is laid out and everything. And there's some really great ones out there.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'm with you. I was never a pinball person either, but like I remember seeing like the Kiss pinball machine and like all these other the different the artwork and themes. They're so cool. That's a good one. All right, moving to Facebook. Omar, forgive me if I completely botch your last name. I'm going for it though. Elmo Kashafi. Elmo.
You sounded so confident.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, but then I was like, no, because I'm looking at Omar Elmo Kashfi.
Okay.
Let's try that. Hey guys, I was just inducted into the MTTG community, so thank you.
Nice. Welcome.
I am a father of two and struggle daily with trying to achieve the best me I can and leave behind a legacy for my kids. What is something you guys want to leave behind for your kids and future generations that really define what you're about? Chris?
Well, for just my family and nieces and nephews, I want them to, my legacy, I guess, to be that I was a hard worker and that I always tried to do things the right way. There's a bit of a situation that I had been dealing with recently where it's like, man, no matter what I do here, somebody is going to be upset. And it's just an inevitability. Like sometimes in life, you're between a rock and a hard spot, and really both ways, even if one outcome may be better for you, it's likely going to be bad for somebody. And it's like, there's going to have to be a loser somewhere in there. Unfortunately, those situations occasionally just happen. And man, it's just been eating me up that I'm potentially going to have to let someone down. And I hate it, but it's reality.
Yeah. It's
so
inevitable,
when I
man.
can control that, I am going to make sure that is not a problem.
Yeah.
So.
That's great, man. That's really great. Ed, how about you?
Yeah, I think whether it's through like my Twitter posts or Facebook or the streams, I just want people to smile and have a laugh.
Yep. Oh man, we had several of those on Friday.
That was
That
fun.
is for sure. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. For me, with Piper, I want her to know that that her father loves her more than anything. Well, not more than anything, but her father loves her very much. And I want her, and we say this when we say our prayers at night, to always treat others the way that you would want to be treated. And to always reflect that, and to be a servant to others, and to be a hard worker. And I want her to be able to see that in what I do and in my actions, and hopefully that gets passed down to her as well.
Nice.
So, that was
Yeah,
great.
man.
Omar, thank you
Yeah.
for that, and I apologize if I botched your last name. Feel free to give me the phonetic spelling of your last name as well. But fantastic, and welcome to the community.
Yes.
That's
Glad to have you.
awesome. Andrew, Derek, Hannah. Hey guys, my question is, what game took your breath away and made you think it does not get any better than this? Up until 2011, I only played arcade shooters like Call of Duty and sports games. Then Skyrim released, and after 2 weeks of not being able to get any of my friends to join my game, I bought Skyrim for myself. Once I stepped out of Helgen and into the open world when the dragon flew overhead, I thought to myself, this is already the best game I have ever played.
Wow.
For me, it's got to be the first time that I put on that VR helmet.
Nice.
And just even the demo, the VR worlds just blew me away, and I knew I was in just for something I'd never experienced before.
Wow, that's awesome. Chris?
I don't remember what game it was, but I remember when I was younger going to the arcade, and the first time I got in one of those arcades where it would move around like you would be flying a ship or driving a car or whatever, and it would move with you. It was one of the racing games, but there were several on there that kind of had this mechanic where, like, if I turn to the left and then the car's like dipping down to the left, and when I hit the brake, it actually shakes. Like that kinds of stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, we have peaked. This is
awesome.
where the world's coming to an end because we are here. It was, I just blew my mind when that kind of stuff, when I'd play those kinds of games.
That's so cool. For me, there's two I actually have. One would be when I played The Last of Us for the first time and just going through the first 10 minutes. Like it wasn't a breath away. It was just a weird kind of this is gonna be incredible. Like this, like I'm already in this deep, and we've just started, and so and just the way I felt like it looked great. And keep in mind, when it first came out, it was PlayStation 3 on the tail end of it too, and it still holds up to this day, and it still looks amazing. But more recently, man, when I got into Spider-Man, and when you first start swinging around New York City, I was like, this is going to be so much fun. And
that'll do it for sure.
Oh my gosh, I thoroughly enjoyed just swinging around. I don't think I fast traveled much at all. I just swung, I went everywhere. It was amazing. It was so awesome. So that was good. Andrew, thank you for that. That was a great question. Over on Twitter, last question, super listener Chad at ChadFackler1. So, with Halloween next week, I have to ask, what are you, or would you like to dress up as for a big Halloween party? And what candy are you giving out to trick-or-treaters? Asking for a friend, in parentheses, planning my route. Very good. I do the same thing, sir. I've already planned out our route as well. So excited. Chris, how about you? So what are you, or what would you like to dress up for in a big Halloween party?
I am not dressing up as anything that I know of. Because I have nowhere to go. Let's say that, I could just snap my fingers and things would be the way that I would want them, I would love to go as Kratos.
Oh, dude, you would be a great Kratos.
But I do not have the abs for that. so that part in particular is a little on the lacking. I do have the white skin.
Yeah, you do.
And I do have the beard, although the beard is the wrong color, and I would have to shave my head. So there's a whole nother issue. But
dude, you would look so
but
bad.
I think that would be so awesome to do, like, just once, like really rock it out. I would love to do that.
I love that. If you're giving out candy, what candy are you giving out to trick-or-treaters?
I mean, we'll probably just get one of those mishmash bags that has like, the mini Snickers and the mini this and the mini whatevers.
Yep.
But honestly, this is, I think, going to be the third Halloween in this neighborhood. And it's such a small neighborhood, and most of the people who live here are like retired people that we don't really get hardly. I think last year we maybe had 2 kids that came.
Oh, man.
wow.
So whatever we get, it'll be very little.
Yeah, I used to have that in Philly too, where there was only like 5 to 6 trick-or-treaters. It's always a bummer. But that's fun. All right, Ed. What you got?
We haven't had any trick-or-treaters either, so we'll probably let Chris get a kind of a grab bag just in case, but I don't expect to have any come through.
Oh, man.
If I had one of those professional cosplayers at my beck and call, I would love to do a Handsome Jack. I think that'd be fun.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Great call. Well played.
What about you, Tim?
We are, as a family, going as zombies. Piper is going to be a zombie Piper and Mommy will be as zombie cheerleaders, and I am a zombie football player. So,
nice.
In our neighborhood in West Haven, there are a ton of houses here. There are a ton of kids here, and we had so much fun. This will be our 3rd trick or treating here in West Haven since the new house. And so I already have my route planned out. And honestly, we really have to go 2 blocks and our bags are pretty much full of candy. It's insane because a lot of the houses are stacked very close to each other. So we'll go down 1 block, go back up another block. And by that time, we're pretty much done. It's insane.
So, will anyone stay home and give out candy?
Yeah, usually my in-laws volunteer because I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think they want to walk around too much. But man, I love it. We just grab some drinks and all the adults. Like we'll stay all dressed up, and we're having kind of like a mini Halloween party where everyone's just coming over. We're getting pizza. I think my nephew's coming over, and just various people can just kind of show up, and then we'll all go trick or treating. Some of Piper's friends. Coming over. We'll all just go trick-or-treating, and we'll leave the in-laws to dish out the candy. And man, it's just, I love Halloween. It is so much fun. Hopefully it doesn't rain this year or anything.
Nice.
And I have already bought 3 of those 150-piece bags at Costco that have like the Snickers, the Almond Joys, and all that fun stuff. Like, we don't give out crap candy on Halloween. We give out the good stuff. And because partly is we have to do some of that candy for Pumpkin Fest this weekend because kids come in and trick or treat in the store. But then also because it's West Haven and there's so many people, we usually keep a bag at the house too. We didn't have as many trick or treaters because we were more in a construction area because new houses are coming up along our block now. But I think a lot more people are coming up this way. So I'm curious to see how it is. And I kind of never know because I'm always out trick-or-treating and my sweet in-laws are dealing with the candy. But they usually say, not a whole lot of kids came up. But we'll see. But, man, I've been eating so much candy already because we had Disney. We did the Mickey's Not So Scary. So we had a 3/4 of a huge bag full of candy there. And then we're kind of dabbling into the candy that I just got because it's the good stuff. So by the time Halloween comes around, I'll be candied out. But it's insane. We'll see.
Nice.
But that is it for the questions. Thank you, one and all, for all of your questions. We really appreciate it. We have a question for you. This is our question of the week for this week. What is your favorite gaming thing to do during the Halloween season? Is there something that kind of like gets you excited for Halloween, or is there an event that happens? What is your favorite gaming thing to do during the Halloween season? Chris, what you got?
The easy answer is I like the Halloween style events that happen with a lot of the different multiplayer games.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
I remember back in my Destiny days, there was always a little event there where the tower would be decorated. You could go around and kind of trick or treat at the different vendors and NPCs inside of the tower in Destiny 1. And then
nice.
They had some version of it in Destiny 2 as well. I had kind of bounced by then. I think that would probably be it, but I do really like I said before, I'm not really one that's much for scary games, but every now and then one comes around that I really enjoy, like Until Dawn, and I would really like to play that again. Realistically, I just don't think I'm going to have the time before Halloween actually shows up.
Yeah.
But I had every intention to run through Until Dawn again this season, and I just don't know that it's going to happen. But I like playing certain specific scary games like that I kind of already know, so I'm not too scared to play them again.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. Ed, how about you?
Kind of like Chris said, I love the Halloween event in Overwatch, and then I'm super excited because starting the 24th, which will, by the time you get this podcast, it'll be out. The free Halloween event for Borderlands comes out, the Bloody Harvest event. So I'm super stoked for that.
Yes, let's do that. That sounds amazing. Yeah, I'm with you guys too. I've just now recently caught on to the Overwatch Halloween event. I think I started, I want to say last year was really when I really started it, and I just really love it. And it kind of just gets me really excited for Halloween. But I will say this, I also, back in the day, this time of year is usually when the Assassin's Creeds would come out. And I remember during this time, right up and through Halloween, I think it was 3 and 4 came out right around this time. And I remember like getting up early, and it's still dark because, you know, the times are starting to change and the season's starting to change, and just playing I remember playing the mess out of Black Flag and playing Assassin's Creed 3, even though I didn't like it, but I still put a lot of hours into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, there some of those games, they always come out right around this time. Like this year, like I'm really loving Borderlands 3. That's kind of gonna make me nostalgic for Halloween as well. But man, the Overwatch event is just awesome. It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
So let us know, hashtag answer MTTG. Let us know, what is your favorite gaming thing to do during the Halloween season? Chris, you got to take us home, brother.
Crap, I don't remember what he says. What is it?
I don't know. Just take us home.
Just land this plane. Dude, I got to say, you crushed it tonight. Well played.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, I remember. Sorry, but thank you for saying that. That was
Yes,
really nice.
man.
It literally just dawned on me. I think I remember anyways. Oh, gosh, I hope I'm not doing
You've
this
been
wrong.
amazing.
Yeah.
It is totally
got this,
fine.
man.
Don't worry about it. You take us home, brother.
All right. I am Chris McCracken. That is Ed Placencia, and that is Tim Router. Somewhere out there is Gabe Patillo, and we are married to the games, and we about this thing. Peace!
Dude,
Oh
that
my
was
gosh, my throat is so
amazing.
dry. I was like, it wasn't until halfway through that I remembered oh crap, I gotta do this piece.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, dude, that's amazing. Well done.
Well done, brother.